Armadillo scutes. They can be used to craft wolf armor. But how do you get them? And if you want like a lot of them, like millions and millions of scutes, how are you gonna do that? Armadillo scutes come from armadillos. That kind of just makes a lot of sense. Armadillos come from savanna biomes. That is where you can find the armadillos. They drop scutes in two ways. The first way is just like chickens, okay? Every once in a while, an armadillo will just pop a scute out of its body, and you can pick it up as long as you pick it up before the 5-minute countdown ends, because then items will just despawn after 5 minutes. Armadillos will drop a armadillo scute this way every 5 to 10 minutes. So you have to worry about two different timers: the actual armadillo dropping the scute and then picking it up within 5 minutes. This means that the simplest method of collecting armadillo scutes is heading to an area that they spawn, like a savanna biome, finding some armadillos, and then picking them up off of the ground. But if you don't have time for that, you can also create a few contraptions, or you can quickly snag a scute from an armadillo by using a brush. With a feather, a copper ingot, and a stick, you can craft a brush, and this gets you armadillo scutes instantly. I have a brush, I have an armadillo. With one brush, you get a scute. This brush will only last about 4 scutes before it breaks. By the way, if an armadillo is rolled up in a ball, like this one is here, you can, here, let's get it to make a ball. You can still brush it. That is no big deal. But what if this is still way too slow for you? We have a few builds that you can use in order to make this process way faster so that your wolf army will have armor for days. To start our contraptions to automate the process of scute collection, we first need a few armadillos. So first step is basically the same. Head to a savanna biome and search for armadillos. You should have with you a few spider eyes. This will help you breed the armadillos and lead them around if you want to like kind of gather them in one area to start your farm. Avoid sprinting around the armadillos when you found them. That way they will not turn into a ball, and it just, takes time to get them to lock on target again after they've balled up. Spider eyes are used in order to breed up the armadillos. So we have 4 of them. If we breed them up, we'll now have 6 of them, which will be perfect for our scute farm. Also, if you're impatient like me, leads will also work to lead these guys around. In fact, maybe best for your redstone contraptions to have them on a lead, because you can just attach them to a fence post and then they won't leave. The first scute collection system is so dead easy. All it is an armadillo with a hopper underneath it so that it can collect the scutes every 5 to 10 minutes when the scute naturally falls off of the armadillo. We've just created a hole that it cannot jump out of with the glass, and the glass is only there so that we can see that our armadillo has not despawned. Here are all of the building materials. The white wool represents just some temporary blocks that you can use. We're gonna start off by putting down our chest and then a hopper into that chest to make sure the nozzle is pointed into the chest. I'm gonna start off with my first temporary block right there on the hopper, and I'm gonna place down some glass on all sides, then destroy the temporary block, then put down glass on top of that, and then put my secondary block right there. Now we'll head over to our armadillos. I'm gonna gather them back up, except for one of them we are going to leave with me. So this guy right here, I'm gonna snag with my lead, and you can use spider eyes to lure them over. Once he is close, oh, look at that. He just fell right in. That's great. So I can click him to remove the lead. I'll gather my temporary block in my lead, and then just wait. Don't forget to remove your temporary block if you don't want things getting in there with your armadillo. By the way, armadillos will not despawn if you breed them or basically interact with them. So feed them some type of, the spider eyes and that stuff. That will make sure that they do not despawn. Also, these new spawns in, they also will not despawn. But you do have to be wary that some armadillos may despawn if you don't interact with them. Also, this little armadillo just produced its first little armadillo Scute. It's working. What if this is also not what you need? You need armadillo scoots, but you need them fast. And I mean like really, really fast. Well, you can use a redstone technique to your advantage if you want to automate armadillo scute harvesting. Remember that you can take a brush and brush an armadillo to get a scute. And there's really no cooldown to how fast you can brush the armadillo. It just creates more scute. It's an infinite supply of armadillo scute. Dispensers will actually do this job for you. If you fill a dispenser with a brush, I'm gonna slap just a block here just so you can see it, and a lever down, and then we fill that with armadillo. We can turn on the lever and the brush will be applied to the armadillo, leaving behind a scute. This method still damages the brush, but you can make a lot of brushes all at once, add them to the dispenser, a hopper, a chest, maybe a little bit of redstone, and we have automated scute production pretty quick. For example, this little redstone creation that uses 3 different dispensers filled with brushes. Now, each brush will only last 4 times, but because we have hoppers and chests full of brushes, yeah, this will go on kind of crazy. I have a redstone clock set up here so that it will automatically start to brush the scute. We have 3 going at once, and we actually start running into an issue that the hopper down here can't even handle the amount of scutes that it's picking up. Very, very quick way to have enough scutes to make a dog army. Making this is dead simple. Here are the ingredients that you need. This represents just having an armadillo. You can obviously use a lead, and then just some type of building block. It does not need to be smooth stone. First step is that I'm going to put down a chest, then a hopper behind that. I'm gonna slap some carpet on top of that, and then I'm going to add my dispensers. Each one is going to be facing at that little piece of carpet. This is where I need just some random building blocks just to put that down right there. Then go ahead and I put that down wrong. Make sure that is facing the carpet. Take the rest of your hoppers, put them on top, take your chests and add them on top of the hoppers. Of course, missing from this recipe is a ton of brushes. Okay, you're just gonna have to make an absolute, just a lot of brushes. Okay, I'm gonna add my armadillo quickly and then glass in front of it to keep him contained inside of there. You'd obviously maybe want to do that a little differently if you were in survival. We're gonna add one bit of a solid block right there. We're gonna take some redstone and take it off of that solid block to over here, and then this is all going to meet up. We're gonna add one extra piece of redstone there, a comparator, turn it on subtract mode, then a lever behind that, and then that, when you flick it on, will activate all of the dispensers. Of course, you would need to come in here and add all of the brushes. You can do it either to the chest or directly to any of the extra pieces. And that is how you make that redstone contraption. Now, if you have massive amounts of scutes, most likely you're going to want to make massive amounts of wolf armor. So it would be obvious for me to cover the auto crafter and how you can set this all up so that it will auto craft the scutes into wolf armor once you have enough. So in this contraption, As you can see, it will just add more wolf armor once it can craft it. This is all the redstone that you need to add. We're going to be using the build that we already built, and we're going to be using the chest right off the front of it. This is the previous build we made, and I just cleared out these 2 blocks just to the right of the chest. It can be on the left of the chest if you are so inclined. First step is to actually pick up this chest. This is where the scutes used to be deposited. We are going to deposit them directly into the crafter. It's facing up. We don't want it to face up. We want it to face forward directly into the crafter. The first thing we're going to do is make the recipe. This is the crafting recipe for the wolf armor, so we're going to make that in the crafter. Next, I'm going to go over here and we're going to put down the other crafter just to kind of get it out of the way. And this one is going to be turned on all but one. We're going to turn on every single thing but one on this crafter over here. It leaves 3 air gaps in between the 2 crafters. Next, we're going to take an observer, and we need the face of this to be facing towards the sky, which means that we need to get lower to the ground and face it up on the edge of a block. And there you go. You can see the face, and the arrow is pointing down. Now we're going to have another observer looking at that one. And so you can see that the arrow is facing into the crafter. And obviously you dig out the blocks to make this happen. Now we're going to put down a comparator here, a comparator over here, and a piece of redstone, boop, directly in the center. And this is everything except for you probably want a chest for this crafter to output into. So put a chest down wherever the face of that is. And now, if we turn on our redstone contraption here, lots of scutes will be created. Those will go down into the crafter here, then craft a wolf armor and deposit it into the chest in front of it. One thing to note, 2 things to note really, is that once again, this hopper does fill up, and also wolf armor does not stack, so it may actually be beneficial to leave the scutes, the armadillo scutes as scutes, and then craft the wolf armor later, but you can still use this contraption with just like maybe a hopper on top of the crafter to craft all the wolf armor at once. And finally, this just bothers me. There are 2 scutes in Minecraft. There is a turtle scute and an armadillo scute. So if you've been wondering, I've heard of scutes my entire life and they ain't never been armadillo scutes. Well, that is why turtle scutes have already existed in Minecraft. I just felt like I needed to say it. And there you have it. Whether it is simply picking a scute off of the ground because you are near armadillos, setting up a redstone contraption to trap those armadillos, keep them in one spot, and hoppers to collect them. By the way, you can fit multiple armadillos into one of these pods to speed things up. Or if you want an insane redstone contraption that auto crafts all of the scutes into wolf armor with just a single armadillo and lots of redstone, well, we got you covered. We are covering every single way that you would possibly want to collect scutes in Minecraft. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you in another one. Bye!